How's it going? My name is Liam. I am an entrepreneur in the fitness space. I'm a YouTuber. I made over 320 YouTube videos. I'm also a sales manager. I am also in the gym. I also do jujitsu. So, all this just to say that I'm an incredibly busy guy. I've also had three relationships throughout this whole journey. Just recently got out of one. And so I think that I greatly understand the clash between the busy entrepreneur and the girlfriend who perhaps doesn't understand how it all works. And sometimes there can create arguments. And in the worst case, the relationship could fall apart. So, my promise is that this video will give the girls some perspective and tactical things to do, not just vague advice like support him. No, these are going to be things you can instantly implement, and they're going to be extremely specific. So it could be for the girls in that they can pick up some things that'll help better understand their man, but also for the man, these could be things that you could perhaps suggest to your girlfriend that could help you along the way as well. So I'm going to give you three ways that the entrepreneur relationship could be optimized. Number one, as the girl, ask your man about his work and try to be genuinely curious about it. Number one, this is going to flatter him. So this is just some riz here. If you're asking the guy about his work, me personally, that gets me fired up. I'm like, wow, this girl actually cares about me. Whereas if you're only talking about your stuff, this guy's only going to get detached from you. Whether you understand that or mean to do that or not, if you're only talking about yourself, and this goes for any friendship, conversation, etc., just be genuinely curious about your man's work. Whenever a girl asks me, hey, how does this work? Or they seem genuinely interested in me, that makes me want to just tie them in. You need to make a conscious effort to just try and care a little bit. Sure, it might be boring stuff. You don't want to learn about sales. You don't want to learn about public speaking. You don't want to learn how to sell. But this means a lot to a person. When it's their biggest passion and they're spending 70% of their day on this thing, just a simple, hey, how does this work? Hey, how did that appointment go? Hey, how is blank doing? And even if you can pick up some of the words, so some of the verbiage, some of the jargon, if you can understand close, hey, did you close that client earlier? Just those simple, just a basic understanding of how his work actually goes so that he feels like, oh, I can talk to her about these things as opposed to closing off because you seem uninterested. If he can openly talk about work to you, he's going to want to be around you way more, and he can be around you. If he has to sacrifice what takes up 70% of his day to be around you, that is a really big sacrifice. So if you can just open up, be genuinely curious about his work, which it doesn't have to be all the time. You're not supposed to be talking about work all day long. But if you can ask a few questions, be genuinely invested in it, he's not going to have to close off a bunch of his life from you. Number two is find a schedule that works. So entrepreneurs are very routine and schedule oriented. So if I pull up my Google Calendar right here, you can pretty much see what I'm doing at any point in the day. And if your boy doesn't have this, then tell him to get it. If you don't have it as a girl, this could also even help you. I love having this. And so when I've had girlfriends in the past, they've utilized it. I've put them on, you could say. And so this, as the girlfriend, allows you to know exactly what your man's working on throughout the day. And so since you're very schedule oriented, or the entrepreneur is, if you're able to actually schedule that time and even routinely schedule it, you can get consistent time for the relationship because it's basically a pie chart. So the day itself has to be divided. There's work, which is going to be a massive chunk if he's a busy guy. There's the gym. And then for me, there's also jujitsu, there's reading. And so if you can get yourself in the loop as much as possible and then schedule those things, perhaps you could be like, yo, Saturday, I'm going to plug in a little date in there. Because then you guys don't have to worry about it. It doesn't have to be like, oh, what'd you have going on oh, I had no idea. This can take care of a lot of the communication where you're like, oh, he's working. You have to be semi-okay with your man working, but scheduling can keep you in the loop and it keeps things from being like, oh, this just exploded in my face. If your man is really on top of his shit, he should be scheduling things at least a week in advance. So then you, as the girl, can be like, hey, let's schedule something this week to hang out. Scheduling is huge. And you almost want to challenge him to at least get some sort of peace from work. You need to say it in the right way. You don't want to be like, hey, stop working so much. That's going to feel like you're criticizing him. You need him to, or what's advantageous to your man is to be present with you while you're hanging out, because that's going to be the time to recharge. The superpower of the relationship is it allows him to recharge and get away from work for a little bit. That's one of the best things about love in general, is just the intense presence that you feel. But if he's thinking about work the whole time, forget it. So just remind him, hey, just be here. You can work tomorrow, etc. Number 3 is go to the gym with him. So your man probably goes to the gym, and everyone should go to the gym. That is one of the easiest ways to buy time with your man. I go to the gym every single morning, and so if my relationship is able to correspond and we can both go at the same time, bam, we just earned ourselves an insta hour per day together, if that's convenient. Or maybe you can only go a few times a week, whatever. But for me, my morning consists of going to the gym, making breakfast, reading books, just getting the creative stuff going. I would gladly have my girlfriend tag along, and that is my favorite part of the day. So if my girlfriend could be there for that, that'd be awesome. So try to tag along with the gym, because that's something that happens every single day. It's not something that's incredibly serious. You guys can go in, have fun together, and it's something you can share. And that goes along with all these little things. You don't want to encroach too much. You don't want to be there with them the whole day. I think there needs to be space to be missed. But there's things that as an entrepreneur do every day that I'd gladly like to have a companion there for. Number 1 would be the gym. Number 2 would be reading. And then I like to go for walks at the end of the day. These are simple things that you can, like I said in number 2, plug into the schedule that can be time for the relationship. And so going to the gym, try it out, see if it works, because it might not work for everybody. Some guys really just don't want someone else there while they're working out, which is understandable. I personally don't take my training that seriously. And you could even try to balance it. So you could be like, hey, 2-3 days a week, we're going to go to the gym together. That's going to be a little bit of a date time. Especially if you, as the girlfriend, are busy yourself. You probably have some things to do in life. It might not be always available in your schedule. So if you can consistently grab 2 to 3 workouts a week, cool. If not, if your man's like, hey, I don't want to be doing that, I like to work out alone, then hey, try to find something else. Try to find an evening walk where you guys can meet and talk and have a good time. The evenings for me were always the time to wind down. But if it got really busy, I go to sleep pretty early. So the mornings are all you've got. So sometimes it's plugging in that workout and spending that time together. The caveat being, hey, you guys don't need to spend every single hour together. In fact, I think the strongest relationships are the ones that are able to be away, because all being away creates space to actually be missed. It's like if you have a sleepover and you have 3 sleepovers with your friend over and over and over again, it gets a little stale. I think humans do need some alone time, and then that only makes the time together more powerful. So for the ladies, I hope this was helpful. This is 3 things you might be able to implement. For the guys, you might be able to show this video to your girlfriend. You might be able to propose some of these ideas and take them as your own. But relationships are something that can either make or break your life in general. Your partner is very important. So this can help make the relationship work. That's all I got.